I want to thank you. I'm going to speak with my mask off for these brief comments. I think that everybody is far enough away that I'm unlikely to, particularly unlikely to infect anyone, not least because, fortunately, most of us have already been vaccinated. My name is Chris Boyer. I am the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters at NAU. This is my first year as Dean, and I want to say how very, very proud I am to be able to accompany you on this important day. It's a day of celebration, a day where we look to the future and think about the past. It's just so lovely to actually be able to have this event in person to honor our graduating seniors, and particularly our honored graduating seniors from Cal and from NAU. For those of you who are family members, thank you so much for making the effort to be here. Thank you for the support you've given your students over the years as they have gone through this moment in their lives. It's really, I think, as I'm going to say in my brief, I promise, brief comments, this is a special class. And that means that you, the family members, the students, are special people. So for those of you who are graduating today, I'm so honored to congratulate you on your achievement. Today we celebrate your graduation from Northern Arizona University. Not only that, we celebrate your successes as the most accomplished students from your respective majors in our college. Not only that, you've reached these heights despite the COVID-19 pandemic. That meant the shift of much coursework and much social life online. It's an attenuated college experience, and I think we should recognize that. You also had to face, by moments, crushing uncertainty about the safety and health of yourselves and your loved ones. You have not only graduated then, you have prevailed. Yet I suspect that many of you, both graduates and their friends and families, will feel that part of your college experience was cut short by the pandemic. What you imagined the future to hold when you started out your careers at NAU has to some extent vanished over the last year. The chance to cheer a sports team, to make a senior year performance or exhibition for a live audience, to share your research, your scholarship, your thoughts with students in your classrooms, all of these things did not take place the way that they would have in another year. It was truly an abnormal situation. Your sense of loss or incompleteness is not only understandable, it is objectively true. It has been hard or impossible to complete some of the traditional capstone experiences of a college career. No live presentations of a final paper, no senior recital with an open attendance, no study abroad this year, not even a traditional spring break, and I know that for some of you that was very damaging. The loss of these markers is unfortunate. In the first place, modern American society has relatively few markers of achievement or rites of academic passage. So to lose these few can make it seem as if there's less to show for your time and effort. In the second place, there's a real pedagogical loss here. These markers of academic achievement are part of the learning process. So in a non-trivial way, you have been deprived of some elements of a college education that your predecessors and your successors have enjoyed and will enjoy. I think it's worth recognizing that directly. In this sense, the class of 2021 has every right to feel in some ways shortchanged by fate. On the other hand, you have learned through experience something that, as a group, few recent college cohorts have. More than most graduating classes, you have had to overcome challenges that no one would have wished upon you, but that will have given you a unique set of skills and perspectives that I believe will serve you throughout your lives. You have learned an extra degree of independence and flexibility. This has been forced upon you by the need to take charge of so much of your own education. You have also learned the importance of accountability, of needing to take charge of not only taking care of yourselves, but your fellow students. You are more online ready than any previous generation to graduate from Cal or from NAU. This is something that moving forward is going to serve you well. I don't know exactly how, but I can say that this is a skill that is going to stay with you. And above all, because of these difficulties, you, as a group, have learned grit and perseverance to a degree that previous generations of college students simply have not. So despite the difficult circumstances of this year, your class moves into the world with a truly unique set of skills, perspectives, and capacities. Now, I'm trained as a historian, and I can confidently say two things will be true as you move on into the world. First, it will take time, perhaps decades, to fully recognize what makes your cohort particular, what sets the class of 2021 apart from the others. The strength you have built up this year, combined with the skills and habits of mind you have developed as NAU students, will take time to reveal itself within the complexity of our society. Second, and more importantly, your unique qualities undoubtedly will reveal themselves over time. I will not predict how these unique qualities of the class of 2021, as I said, independence and accountability, flexibility, the fact you're more online ready than any previous generation, and your grit and perseverance, I will not predict exactly how they will play out in your lives or as an academic generation. But if I may offer one piece of advice on graduation day, it is this. Embrace what has made your experience different from others. Recognize and build upon the strengths that you have built up over the last year. Use your unique skills and perspectives and capacities to prop up those around you. You have earned it, and you have a great future ahead. Congratulations to you all, and congratulations to the class of 2021. So, we have some recognitions of the individuals amongst you. You are the most distinguished members of the class, and I guess I will introduce Associate Dean Christopher Griffith, who will read out your individual citations, and I will hand out the plaques. So if you would approach the podium when he mentions your name, we will move forward from there.
How about if I put you over here?
All right.
Have you over here?
Yep.
And so my name is Chris Griffith. And recognize Carly Arachiga from the School of Art. Thanks very much. Now I know you studied with Pam Stevens, so one thing that I have to say is that she is the last of a special group of people. Pam Stevens, who has been a one-person show in the School of Art for art education, has an international reputation. There is a map in her office of where her students have gone after they've graduated. And I've had students who were in my home area of philosophy who were double majors in philosophy and art. They've gone overseas, and Pam is retiring after this year, so that's something that's extra special about your experience here at NAU. Carrying a 3.94 cumulative GPA, Carly has been on the Dean's List consistently since arriving at NAU and earns the Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education with an endorsement in pre-K 12 art. Besides excelling in the classroom and studio, Carly was a key player for the Saturday Studio for Kids community outreach program that brings students in grades kindergarten through 6th grade to campus for art classes. She planned and taught exceptional art activities. And this comes from Dr. Pam Stevens, the gold standard for art education in the state of Arizona. Dr. Stevens notes that Carly is a role model for her classmates. Indeed, 2 of her lessons were published in School Arts, a national publication for art teachers. It is incredibly rare for an undergraduate student to publish in a professional venue. This particular publication has a circulation of about 30,000 print, right? 30,000 in print today, that's huge. In addition to having an online presence. In a local elementary class, Carly taught weekly art lessons in a program called Girls Teaching Girls, and assisted a middle school teacher with planning, organizing, and teaching art lessons. In light of Carly's talents and her community engagement, a local elementary art teacher actually requested to serve specifically as Carly's cooperating teacher, another rare, uncommon occurrence. As Dr. Stevens remarks, Carly Arechiga is indeed a standout among her peers. Our College Awards Committee agree and named Carly as the College of Arts and Letters standard bearer, recognizing her as one of the top 2 performers in this year's graduating class. Carly, congratulations. What's next for you?
Oh gosh. Well, what's next for me? Well, first off, I still have to student teach after I graduate, so I got to finish that up. And then after I finish that, I'm just gonna do anything wherever life takes me. As of yet, I do not see any art openings in Flagstaff to teach. However, if there is an art opening, hopefully I will be able to do that. Otherwise, I'll probably be substitute teaching if I can get into it. And I also, about a month ago, I was able to go online for a school in Tucson, and I did an art family night. And I'm hoping to start marketing that and do some really fun art nights to bring all of the schools together. And because Zoom is now huge, I can do it wherever the school is, I can do it. So hopefully I'm going to get into that. But otherwise, when COVID's all over, I want to travel a lot, and I'll be hanging out in Flagstaff. So.
Congratulations, Carly.
Thank you.
And Dean Boyer has your plaque over there. Okay, Jordan Riley, come on up here. Jordan is the outstanding graduating senior for the Department of English. The Department of English is the largest department in our college. It dwarfs just about everything else. So when it comes to selecting an outstanding graduating senior, man, it is a multiple term process. They've got so many specializations, so many emphases. Your emphasis is rhetoric, is that right? Yep. Okay, so the Department of English, the largest academic in the college, has selected Jordan Riley as its outstanding graduating senior, a student who is passionate about all things rhetoric. One of her faculty nominators describes her as smart, committed, thoughtful, hardworking, and able and willing to grow beyond even her own expectations. Another nominator noted that in all of her formal and informal writing for her course, Jordan performed beautifully as a writer and a researcher. Jordan also contributed in a very valuable ways to class discussions. In addition to her excellence in the classroom as a learner, Jordan was a model for her peers, serving as an undergraduate teaching assistant. Professor Ira Allen praised Jordan's work as a co-teacher for his argumentation class, writing that Jordan was both empathetic and lucid, earning the admiration of the other students. The nomination committee mentioned that Jordan has already presented her research at professional conferences, has been invited to co-author a paper with Professor Allen. In sum, as Professor Laura Gray Rosendale puts it, Jordan is stellar in every category. Congratulations, Jordan. What's next for you?
I have
committed to the Rhetoric, Writing, and Digital Media Studies Master's Program here at NAU. But other than that, I'm just going to see where life takes me, I guess. I have no other plans besides going for my master's right now. And hopefully publishing the co-authored article this summer. So.
Excellent. We get to keep you for 2 more years.
You do.
Very good. Congratulations. Dean Boyer has your plaque. Okay, Josie Teagarden. The Department of History has selected Josie Teagarden as its outstanding graduating senior for the 2020-2021 academic year. The history faculty who nominated Josie attribute Josie's love for history, at least in part, to the many travels she took as a child to the many state and national parks throughout the U.S., thanks to her family. The educational activities at these sites were complemented by the tactile experiences, making her acquaintance with the past so tangible for her. Building on a rich high school experience inside and out of the classroom, Josie took up the Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education in History and has maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA, good enough both for the Lumberjack Scholarship and as the Dwayne and Susan Barber History Teacher Scholarship awarded to the most outstanding senior in the BSED program in any given year. This program, the BSED in History, is, by the way, the largest in the department. It's larger, actually, than the Bachelor of Arts degree in History and the Bachelor of Science in History combined, right? This is one of the largest primary emphases in education in our college. So one faculty member reports that Josie earned the first exam score of 100% that the professor had ever assigned in 25 years of university instruction. In that course, Josie finished with a 97% against a class average of 79%. So this was not a teacher who was inclined to give out easy grades. Another faculty comments that Josie simply shined, a delight to have in class, always ready to discuss, but often deferring to others despite her mastery of the material. The director of the BSED program, with many excellent graduates to support, recommended only the best, Josie Teagarden. Josie, congratulations. What's next for you?
I'm either going to teach in the Flagstaff Unified School District or I'm going to attend NAU for graduate school. I will know by the end of next week.
Congratulations. Thanks very much. Hannah Anderson. So Hannah Anderson is the selection for the School of Music as its outstanding graduating senior. The associate director for the School of Music, Emily Hoppy, here, was pleased to nominate Hannah for music's outstanding graduating senior. Hannah is a blue-chip tuition scholar and has risen during her time here at NAU to the very top of the NAU Flute Studio. This is no small achievement. I have had the pleasure to work with Emily this past year, and Emily has incredible attention to detail and high standards and expectations. Does that sound like Emily to you?
Absolutely.
I thought so. So if you've risen to the top, you've done something there. Hannah has held principal positions in both the NAU Wind Symphony and the NAU Symphony Orchestra. Emily notes Hannah's impeccable preparation, her hunger for development, and her dedication to her craft. Hannah takes complete charge of her own learning and has attended master classes nationally, including with flute legend Gene Beckstresser, formerly principal flute with the New York Philharmonic. Hannah recently performed in the finals of the NAU Concerto competition and will pursue a graduate performance certificate in music. I checked with Emily beforehand, so I actually got a lowdown on what you're doing next. In the coming year, so that you may audition for further graduate training. Is that right?
Yep.
And do you have plans? Do you have ideas about where you'd like to go after earning the certificate here?
I really don't. I'm gonna look everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do get you for another year or so.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dean Boyer has your plaque. You know, thinking about Hannah's achievement, you know, the pandemic was costly for all of us. But those of us on the letters side of the college, right, those of us in English, and those of us in philosophy and history, we didn't have the same impact that the students in the performing arts did. Music is an activity that is incredibly vigorous. When you do music, when you perform, it's a huge physical exertion. And because we're so concerned about the audio, we want the sound to be right. We have to control the environment. But at NAU, it's difficult to control the environment. And this pandemic put an incredible strain. The performers in the performing arts were not able to perform in front of their audiences. And only rarely were they able to perform in front of their family. Hannah, I especially regret that this year has been so tough, but I do congratulate you for your perseverance and your performance. Well, I got fat, numb fingers here. Ah, here we go. Evan Coulier. It's 70 degrees out and my hands are still numb. I'm not sure what's going on here. So, Evan, I was told that you don't pronounce your name in the traditional French, and I want to thank you for that, because I couldn't have done it. But Evan is from my own home department, and one of the things I miss most about being in the dean's office is that I'm not as acquainted with our philosophy students as I have been. Even as chair, I would typically get them in a junior level writing course or a capstone course. But this year, lots of transitions. I only taught one course, it was an introductory level course, so I kind of feel like I missed out on your work. Julie Peering, my colleague in philosophy, she raved about your performance. And so she was very happy to nominate you. Since becoming an upperclassman, Evan sports a perfect 4.0 GPA and has never received a grade other than A in a philosophy course. One of Evan's nominators remarks that Evan's philosophical papers model the virtues that the department faculty seek to instill in their students. Critical, rigorous, but honest, holding to the principle of charitable reading of the text under scrutiny. In class, his teachers say, Evan is a thoughtful interlocutor. If you don't know what that word is, you didn't study philosophy, and you probably better ask this guy. Interlocutor. Look it up, or talk to Evan. He's a genuine gift for asking the questions that move discussion into compelling areas. Evan has served as a philosophy mentor for 3 semesters and served as the director of the program last year, helping the other mentors to achieve success despite the challenges of the COVID pandemic. And the Philosophy Mentors program is a program where our advanced and our polished undergraduate students develop mini lessons, and they go into the local school district. Now, I expect that unless you attended a private school or perhaps a Catholic school, you probably didn't have a philosophy course, even through high school. Almost certainly you had teachers who were influenced by philosophy, but philosophy is not a standard subject that is required in secondary education. And so most of our students come to NAU. They don't know that they want to do philosophy. They discover it. And as you will note by looking at the yellow pages, there's no section in there for philosophers. So if you study philosophy all the way to graduation, you have to be wondering, just like your parents are wondering, what are you going to do with that? Your education is more than what you can do with it in the career market. And I have found as a philosopher that I am a much better parent, I'm a much better friend, I'm a much better worker, actually, having studied philosophy. These are things that you may not believe right now, but I suspect you're going to find them out, especially as talented as you are. In the wake of a seminar featuring philosophy students and veterans, Evan represented philosophy in a joint program with the Martin Springer Institute for the Study of the Holocaust, one of the signature programs in the College of Arts and Letters, and NAU's Office of Veterans Affairs. Evan and a few other philosophy students engaged in a dialogue concerning issues such as moral injury and war, with and in front of an audience of about 75. Through what predictably was a tricky conversation, Evan was, quote, characteristically thoughtful and gracious, but he didn't shy away from thorny issues or nuanced observations, unquote. His faculty nominator has been pleased with Evan's development over the past 2 years and rates him among the best she's ever taught. Evans, congratulations. What's next for you?
Working at Starbucks.
Starbucks! An employer of philosophers across the country.
And then graduate school.
Graduate school. Very well. Evan, congratulations. Thanks very much. Dean Boyer has your plaque. Okay, finally, I have Luna Slater. The Department of Global Languages and Cultures has selected Luna Slater as its outstanding graduating senior for this academic year. Extending a perfect high school GPA, Luna will graduate with a 4.0 GPA while completing the BA in Spanish and, just for kicks, a minor in chemistry. One faculty mentor, Professor Ed Hood, my colleague, says that Luna is among the brightest, hardest working, and most accomplished Spanish students he has encountered in 3 decades of teaching. Her upper division Spanish coursework is, he says, impeccable. And for a language person to say that another person's language and coursework is impeccable is saying something. You have got to be so precise. It's one of the reasons why language next to philosophy strikes me as requiring such logical mastery of something that's basic, our language. A colleague of Professor Hood, Roberto Serpas, also here today, teaches an upper division course in Spanish grammar and said Luna is one of the most gifted students he has encountered in his 20 years of teaching, but that Luna is also responsible, respectful, and dedicated. She earned 100% in this course, an upper division course in grammar, which is not simple. Luna takes charge in groups, often appointed as her group's spokesperson, and will ask questions for the benefit of her classmates. Not only was Luna mastering Spanish while minoring in chemistry, she is also a talented Division I distance runner for NAU. And as you know, NAU has a very recent, strong tradition of distance running. She earned selection to the 2019 Big Sky Conference All-Academic Team and has been an NAU Golden Eagle recipient in 2018, 2019, and 2020. The demands on a student athlete are tremendous, but Luna also found time to volunteer in a local law office, serve food for women and children at the Hope Cottage Shelter here in Flagstaff, and also to provide health care in her hometown of Fort Collins for families taking English classes at the Family Center. I also know that she accompanied the group to Salamanca, Spain last year, or 2019. And that's another loss, right? No study abroad this year, as Dean Boyer indicated, which is really crucial for someone whose primary academic interest is in the languages. And that's because when you major in a language, it's not just the competence in the language. It's the acquaintance with the culture and the history. It's a much broader engagement than one thinks of if one has only taken courses to satisfy, for instance, a language requirement for the bachelor's degree. Now, I also happen to have checked in with Luna beforehand, so I know some of her plans. I know long-term, the plan is bilingual law school. On the way, though, she's going to complete a master's here at NAU. Again, we get to keep these folks, our great luck. And you'll be pursuing the master's degree in criminal justice, is that right? Mm-hmm. Anything else going on? What's going on for the summer?
Not sure. Probably stay in Flagstaff, train, run a lot. Yeah.
And you will continue to run for NAU next year, is that right? Wow, that's great. Congratulations, Luna.
Thank you.
And Luna has been named the College Distinguished Senior as the top outstanding graduating senior for this academic year. Congratulations. And I think that it would be great if we could get all of the outstanding graduating seniors to pose with Dean Boyer. That's something, I deal with problems. So today is a wonderful day for me. And I want to get a picture of it so we can put it on our website so I can go look at it every once in a while. So all you outstanding graduating seniors, please come on up and take a picture with Dean Boyer.
I do want to thank you all once more for making the effort to come here today, and I also want to congratulate the graduating seniors one more time. It's great that so many of them are going to stay around NAU. It's actually a real testimony to the power of this institution, that its very best would like to stay here as long as they can. I also want to make a little reflection on the fact that some people do not know what the next step is going to entail. I want to just emphasize how much strength that requires. That is knowledge that you have taken the steps down the path of your lives that will set you up for whatever may come. And, if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we may think we know what is coming around the next corner, but we do not. And in our lives, in every one of our lives, there is the predictable and the known, and there is the unpredictable and the unknown. And your strength in being ready to take steps that you know is leading somewhere, but you may not know where, that is actually what the arts and humanities is all about. It is about that internal strength, but it is also about the skills that you have developed here. And while you might not yet know what your career path will be, what you do know is that employers these days are looking for those who can understand the world around them, who can express themselves, who have the ability and the faith to, in their own skills to work independently and to think critically. And you've all learned how to do this. So I congratulate you both for your successes so far and for your faith in following your own path. As they say in Mexico, one's path is made by walking. And I just want to say how fortunate I am to have been present in that last year. I've only been here 1 year. In your last year, when you have begun walking down that path, may it bring you joy. May it bring you strength. And congratulations to the class of 2021.